So, dear Dhamma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session, and be comfortable yourself and relax your body. So once we get connected with our other students, we're ready to start the session for today. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body, and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand about this practice, about this meditation, because it is very important for yourself from the beginning to understand this intellectually. Once you start your practice, so what you know become the stage for you. So if you know what to do and how to do things clearly, and at the same time, if you know where you're heading, it will help you to keep practice more and more and more comfortably. Most of the time, why we give up practice? Because we don't know what to do. And when you don't know what to do, you can't get the right result. So when you don't get the result, by the time you get tired about it, so then you give up. Anything the same. We are just ordinary human beings in this conventional life, used to depend on some kind of result gaining through our activities. It is very difficult for us from the beginning to sit and completely be empty. So that's why out of your practice, so you have to have some result, basically. How you can gain that? So then you can't do whatever the way you want. So that's why the teaching is important. So then follow the teachings. If you follow the teachings, then you get the result. So if you don't get the result, that's mean maybe you didn't find the right teachings, or maybe you don't do the right things. So then you have to work with it little by little. You don't need to become kind of like a statue, or you don't need to kind of like a mesmerize or get numb out of your practice. No, your practice, your sitting, the practice moment means you have to use your all the methods, the techniques, all the skills to develop yourself. So the comparison is a other normal thing for us. We always compare things here and there, but try to compare yourself. Nothing wrong with if you compare it to yourself from yesterday to today, rather than from you to outside. Compare it yourself and see how your practice work and what happened yesterday and how it worked. And then if it is kind of like a comfortable, good and clear, and then you develop it. If it is not, then you have to brush up yourself. So that's why, rather than hold it to one way of thinking, be open. Be open to know in many ways. But when you start to practice, your awareness should be very clear, and you have to sit with the clarity within yourself regarding the practice step by even the posture. You have to keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line. And even sometimes some people put their head down, and sometimes they like this, they are so comfortable to be like that. But if you can't find the breathing, or maybe they are like this, and their imagination itself, they feel kind of like they are breathing. No, it is their mind. They just interfere with the inhalation, exhalation. How you can get this natural process? How you can recognize, how you can see it? So that's where your awareness needs to be more sharp. And always, little by little, adjust yourself and see where you can find the real natural process of inhalation, exhalation. Work yourself. If something doesn't work, change it. Be flexible yourself. Another thing is play yourself with your own body and mind and technique, and then use it to get the right result. Don't just believe, or don't just hold it to whatever you used to do. Maybe it look like good for you, but what we think about good for us maybe not, doesn't make any sense. Even in conventional life, how many things we think is good for us, but it doesn't work. That's the true reality. So then yourself remember. Of course, you used to practice, you used to do many things. But then question yourself, have you changed? Did you change yourself something? Did you see something inside you, and you able to shift it to a more higher profitable level for yourself? Because when it comes to the Buddhism, out of this whole practice, one of the things, it make you kind of like a very skillful person. That's the important part. Out of practice meditation, you become a very skillful person. What is the skill that you develop here? Taking conscious decision. This is very hard. That's why, because we're always asking from others. We follow others' guidelines. We follow the history. We follow kind of like others' opinion. And sometimes, you can't take very conscious decision even in day-to-day things. And sometimes you can't understand what to eat. then maybe you keep asking from others, what should we eat today? What should we eat today? Because you can't take a very conscious decision. That's normal, because that is what we used to do. And when the vacation time comes, maybe you keep asking where we should go. And always, we used to keep doing for a long time. Now we are so comfortable with that. But taking conscious decision is something that you can develop yourself. Then it makes you a more skillful person. You know what is good for you. And you know where to go. And you know what you should not do. Once you know that, once you start to follow that, you become kind of like your own master. So that is very necessary for you to develop this path. Because today we have this environment, we have internet, we have this computer or the iPad or the cell phone or TV or whatever, you can connect with it, and you have the connection, then electricity, this everything. So we are capable to share these things. But who can guarantee about tomorrow? This anything may be not going to be here. Or maybe you're going to be in somewhere. This anything cannot reach to you. So then what are you going to do then? Because one thing in our life, when we condition through our habitual pattern, especially in our spiritual practice, and mostly we get hurt, we break down, we break up our spiritual path most of the time. We get disappointed. It's not like you break up with somebody or in a conventional level with the ideas or things. It's not kind of like something that you fired from the workplace. No, when you break up from this spiritual practice, it is very difficult. It is very hard. It's very difficult to fix it again. But most of the time it happened to us. Why? It's because of our own behavior. We are not flexible. So that is one thing then you have to develop in the spiritual practice. Don't get hurt out of your own spiritual practice. Don't get disappointed out of meditation. See that a lot of people in the conventional life, they get disappointed with things and regarding things, and they look for the peace, happiness, some kind of tranquility state. And then they sit for meditation for after a while, and maybe they keep doing chanting or prayers or some kind of spiritual practice. And if you get disappointed about it, what will happen next? So then what will happen? Once you detach from your spiritual practice, all the demons start to overtake the space. And then out of you, any madness can come. So don't allow it to happen. Because it is not you even, that's the worldly nature. It's not somebody doing it. But when you are conscious, you have opportunity in this very moment what to do and what power to merge and connect with. Why? Because always remember, as human beings, our mind, consciously or unconsciously, always have a nature. It anchoring to something. Always. In the conventional level of mind. Anchoring to something, clinging to something, hold it to something. So then look carefully yourself and see. Slow down yourself, be silent, and start to look where your mind clinging, where your mind anchoring, holding, grasping something, you will see. And what happens once you're grasping something, knowingly or unknowingly, invisibly, that grasping nature, that clinging nature, start to reframe your life. And you start to reframe yourself. You start to reframe your identity. And then what happened after that, that whatever the things you anchoring, then you start to modeling your life according to that. It's kind of like a remodeling. So just imagine you do things, and then so by the time tomorrow you start to anchoring, you listen to a music and you anchoring, then you think, oh, I want to become a singer. And then what happens? So whatever you keep doing, maybe you start to reframe yourself and you start to imagine and build up a structure, and then you start to remodel your life. Whatever you used to do, maybe you're not going to do, you start to do things with new way to become a singer. So like that, our mind always towards something, which something that we selected in our past. So we clinging to something. We are the one who did it. So then look yourself for what you're clinging. And when your mind relax, comfortable, what you think, what you always looking. And this remodeling, it always push you to visualize or the imagination. And out of that, you create mental patterns. So this is happen again and again and again, and then suddenly sometimes that whatever anchoring, whatever free framing, remodeling, visualization, or the imagination, this everything collapse. Completely collapse everything. It's kind of like you get lost in the conventional level that whatever the things that you used to believe. We all go through that way. So then your life becomes salt. It's a kind of like a messy, very painful. All the memory and moment by moment and whatever the environment and everything give you pain when the life becomes salt. When things break down, when you break up, when your imagination scattered, when your visualization become dark, then when your remodeling cannot find any kind of path, when the reframing cannot find the structure, when your mind cannot anchor into something, you get salty. Then what happens? A cry and lamentation, weeping. And not only that, the anger, fear, hatred, jealousy, these are all arising. So then what you can do for that? So your salty life is your choice. That's the very first thing you have to remember, that salty life that you experience is your own choice, not someone else. You are the one who selected. Now you are the one who experienced that what you choose. So take the fully responsibility to yourself. That's the beginning. Whatever the pain, hardship, setback, and so everything, take the responsibility. It's my choice. That's why I am like this. That's the beginning. And that then start to add the water to your salty life. What happened when you add water to salty? Keep adding, drop by drop, little by little, keep adding, keep adding. So then what happened to the salt? That salty water. Little by little, the strength of that salt is dissolved. Mix it the water. So by the time, if you keep adding more and more and more and more water, so by the time, you don't feel that much salty. And in a certain level, that all that salty water will disappear. Mix with the water that you add. So then you have to remember, when you're adding the water, don't add another salty water. Then what will happen? Then again you get the same thing. So then you have to add some good water to that. What is this good water means? What you can add to you? Good actions. So when it comes to that good actions, so the most of the actions that we perform for no reason, just we do things. So then one of the things that is skill that you can develop, having conscious and taking conscious decisions. And if you are capable to develop that pattern in you, little by little, and it slowly start to change. So then that the skill, the strength is not to anchor into anything or not to hold it to anything. No. Hold it to something profitable. Hold it to something worth. Anchoring to something make you higher, take you to a higher level. And unplugging the anchor from unprofitable skill and clinging to profitable skill is one of the shift that you can make. Not to do anything is no, it mostly come out of the anger. So then transform yourself, change yourself. Clinging to something more higher, more profitable than that whoever you are. So that's why we call it's called the faith, trust, conviction. So we have to have it always, not just by itself. You can't have the faith just by itself. And according to the Buddha's teaching, if you just have the faith, maybe it can make you blind. So then always you have to have the wisdom with the faith. When you have the wisdom and the faith together, and then that whatever you hold, it will always uplift you. The whatever means not unprofitable things. So the whatever the more higher things that you cling, it will always uplift. So it should be balanced, faith and the wisdom. Not only one thing. And when it comes to the reframing, tranquility state is very necessary, because with the busy mind, you can't do that. Then you make mistakes. And with the lethargic mind, very lazy mind, you can't do it. You have to have some kind of strength. And with that, you have to develop the reframing. And according to that, whatever the higher purpose. And then when you remodel it, and you just cannot have just allow it to happen itself. So you have to interfere with the conscious. This and again and again, again and again. You may have to change things. So then you have to have some kind of flexibility with the awareness. So with that, if you develop your path again and again, again and again, what will happen? So by the time you will see the change happen inside you. So bringing the change to your own behavior is the success. So if you don't change, and if you just maybe keep doing many things, you go to teacher, guru to guru, master to master, you go to retreat place, you read book to book, and you go to monastery, and you go life to life, and you meet the Buddha to the Buddha, and again another Buddha, but still you the same. So that way, you can't get the result. So bring the change, a little bit enough. Bring good water to your salty life. Don't keep salty. So bringing good water is another way that we practice meditation. And neutralizing yourself, these all mental, physical activities, and just settle down with the awareness and recognize things without doing anything. That is very hard. To just observe and recognize without doing anything is sometimes it's kind of like a killing. It's kind of like the end of the world. Of course, that is the end of the world. Because this world, not this outside, this inner world is full of action. Action movie. Drama. Horror movie. So this all here. We all experience that every day. But you come to a place, you just recognize, observe. You don't bring all the ideas, thoughts, the behaviors to the moment of experience. You withdraw when your mind says, do this, do this, do this. You withdraw from that. You allow your inhalation, exhalation to happen naturally itself. And then once you see it, and bring more and more awareness to it, and then you will see the very first time what you recognize as inhalation, exhalation. And then the second level, that you can go more deeper. And then maybe surface level, that inhalation, exhalation happens. But you can get more details when you get mindful. Long, short, heavy, soft, warm, cold. And sometimes only right nostril inhale, sometimes only left inhale. So like that, you start to see this. And while you're seeing that what you see, this is very important, remember. So when you see it, so what you see can change according to the very condition of your mind. So then, while you're observing, see the very condition of the mind. And then you are capable to brush up your awareness. And when you brush up your awareness and mindfully observe, what you recognize going to become more and more and more sharp and clear. That's where you recognizing. So what you see, what you recognize depend on the condition of the mind. And at the same time, the condition of the mind depend according to the what you see, and then again and again that when the clarity comes, that your mind able to see more and more and more deeper. So that is why you recognizing this perception that what you perceive have the effect for your consciousness too. So your consciousness has an effect for what you see, and the perception also have an effect for your consciousness. So this both, once you recognize, and you become more and more and silent, careful, and not to make any kind of move. Why? Because now you see your consciousness become more clear, sharp when you kind of like withdraw from actions. So that principle, once you recognize this method, again and again, you can go more deeper, 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 deeper. So when you go in that way, in the very first level, you are capable to see your thoughts. Thought arising. Now you observe with the inhalation, exhalation, but by the time, with that, you start to see your thoughts also. And not only the thoughts, and then by the time you're capable to see from where these thoughts come. So that's means deeply you are capable to recognize the very behavior of the mind. And not only that, and according to that, your condition of your body also slowly start to change. And maybe from the beginning, your body used to feel so heavy, but now you feel so light. But you didn't do anything. You didn't shake yourself, or you didn't kind of like drink any weight losing things. No, but now you feel so relaxed, comfortable. So then the next principle you recognize what? According to the condition of the consciousness or the mind, that what you feel in your body can change. So in day-to-day life, just imagine when we feel heavy, tired, mostly we try to treat to this physical body. But sometimes, of course, when you get tired, you feel like that. But sometimes it can come as a result of your mental condition. So maybe you feel sick, painful, uncomfortable. So maybe it can be really from the body directly, but it can maybe kind of like your mental behavior, your mind. Why? Because according to the condition of the mind, that what you feel in this body change. So now you start to recognize this, your perception and the condition of the mind and the bodily feelings, this all interconnected. And interconnected, and when one thing change, it affect for others, and then everything change according to that. So when the mind calm down, and then you recognize the breathing also slows, relax, calm down. And not only that, the body also calm down. And when the breathing calm down, and you recognize mind also calm down, the body also calm down. And the body calm down, the mind calm down, breathing calm down. So these three things start to move together. work like as one. You can't separate it. So once you experience it, now you know what you feel in this very moment is very condition of many things. So, and once you recognize that, you are not going to take it as something. Because then you know there are many other reasons behind it. So that is where your mind start to release from this self-centered, egocentric, grasping, clinging nature. And once you withdraw from that, more and more, you feel relaxed, comfortable, mentally, physically, even with the perception that what you perceive. So it will help you to go deeper, deeper, deeper. And in a certain level, you are capable to understand this everything is not somebody, unchangeable, solid somebody experience. This we experience this moment as a result of everything. So then you are everything and everything is you. But still, we have limitations according to our point of view. So when there is no point of view, you are just part of this universe. So with that, let's get into practice with a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck get straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say so patveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. And by the time, observe the very condition of the mind or see the observer. So in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. So bring attention to the sensation, be with it, do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, to galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away. Already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. Your backside. Your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. Also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chamihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numudantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numudantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numudantu sabba sampatti siddhya imaya dhamma nudhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paribunjissami idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless.